喺睇片之前，大家記得分享、讚好同訂閱灼見名家，最緊要撳埋呢個鐘仔，咁你就唔會錯過我哋嘅最新影片。
Okay, let's start. I'm holding 50 yarrow stalks and I take one away and put it into the sack. And that represents the beginning of the universe. Now, randomly, I separate the bundle into two piles, representing the two primal forces, yin and yang. Then I take one stalk away from the right-hand pile and insert it between the little finger and the ring finger of my left hand to represent the three powers, those of heaven, earth, and man. And then I pick up the pile on the left and start counting through the pile by fours to symbolize the four seasons. Until there are four or less stalks remaining. Then I put the remaining stalks between the ring finger and the middle finger of my left hand to represent an intercalary month or intercalary month. In 5 years, there are two intercalary months. So I pick up the right-hand pile and start counting through it by fours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. Now I'll insert this remainder between my middle finger and the index finger of my left hand. And now I've completed the first change. The remainder should either be 5 stalks or 9 stalks. Now we have 5 stalks remaining. This is the first change. I'm putting these, the remainder of the first change right in front of me, but far away from me. 3 changes make a line. So I mix them together and randomly I'm dividing the bundle into 2 piles. And again I'll pick one up and insert it between the small finger and the ring finger of my left hand to symbolize the 3 powers. And then I will count the left-hand pile by fours to represent the 4 seasons. Until there are 4 or less stalks remaining. And now I'm putting the remainder between my the ring finger and the middle finger of my left hand. That's the intercalary month. In 5 years, there are 2 intercalary months. So I'm counting through this right-hand pile by fours until 1, 2, 3, or 4 yarrow stalks remain. Right, 4 remaining. And these 4 stalks is being placed between the middle finger and the index finger of my left hand. In this second change, the remaining number of stalks should either be 4 or 8. Now we have 8 stalks remaining. 8 stalks are placed nearer me. Now I'm going to do the third chain. Mix the 2 piles together and at random, separate them into 2 parts. Pick one and insert it between the little finger and the ring finger of my left hand to symbolize the 3 powers. And I pick up the left-hand pile and start counting through it by 4s to represent the 4 seasons. There are 2 stalks remaining. They are placed between the ring finger and the middle finger of my left hand to represent the intercalary month. In 5 years, there are 2 intercalary months, so I'm counting my right-hand pile as well. Okay, 1 remaining. The second intercalary month. I should have either 4 or 8 stalks between my fingers. Now I have 4. And just keep this place very near. Now I have just completed the first chain. Then what line is it? Is it a moving line or a non-moving line? Now, for the first change or mutation, if there are 5 stalks, I will give it a numerical value of 3. If there are 9 stalks, I will give it the numerical value of 2. So the more stalks, the smaller the number. Now, there are 5 stalks here, so it has 3. It has 3. For the second change, it's either 4 or 8. If it's 4, if there are 4 stalks remaining, I give it a value of 3. If there are 8 stalks remaining, it has a value of 2. There are 8 stalks remaining, so it gets a value of 2. For the third change, it's either 4 or 8. If it's 4, it has a value of 3. If it's 8, it has a value of 2. Let's count and add up those values. 5 stalks, 3. 8 stalks, 2. 3 plus 2 plus 3. 3 plus 2 plus 3 is 8. 8 is a non-moving yin line. 6 is a moving yin line. 9 is a moving yang line. And 7 is a non-moving yang line. For example, if I have 5 here, 4 here, and 4 here, I'll be getting 2. Sorry, for 5 here, let's say 5 here, 4 here, and 4 here. I'll be giving these stalks the values of 3, 3, and 3. 9. Moving yang line. Now here we have 8. If you want to double check, you can. And it is by counting through these piles by 4s. You should have 8 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, and 4, 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, and 8, 2, 3, 4. That is how you check whether you did right. So, the first line is, can I have a piece of A4 paper? Can we ask Elizabeth to give me piece of A4 paper or any piece of paper. I can use it. I can use it. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now, I'll move this away. The first line I obtained just now is a non-moving yin line like this. I don't want to take up the active participants' time. It's very hard to communicate with you this time. I'm very sorry. Should have talked more. But I would really like to act as if we are getting a hexagram. And I do have a couple of friends here with me, and you can give me the numbers. There are 4 possible numbers, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay? If you can be kind enough just to give me a number. Now, I'm trying to get a number for the second line. Arthur, can you give me a number?
7.
7. 7 is a non-moving yang line. Right. May, can you give me a number?
8.
8 is again a non-moving yin line. Now we have completed the lower trigram, and we need the upper trigram. Elizabeth, give me a number. 9. 9 is a moving yang line. Okay. And who else? Others?
3.
No.
6.
6. 6 is a moving yin line. Now we have 2 moving lines. We need 1 more line to complete the hexagram. May, better give me another number.
7.
7. 7 is a non-moving yang line. You know, odd numbers are yang numbers, and we have only 4 numbers in this exercise. 7 is a non-moving yang line. 9 is a moving yang line, and we call it the old yang, 老yang. 7, the young yang, 少yang. 6 is an old yin line, 老yin, and 8 is 少yin. Once it moves, we read the judgments. If it doesn't move, we don't read the judgment. Once the judgment is read, the moving line becomes a non-moving line of the opposite gender. So 9 after moving becomes 8. All right? And 6 after moving becomes 7. But first of all, let's see what hexagram we've got here. The upper trigram, solid, broken, solid, is Li. Okay. Which symbolizes fire. Right? The lower trigram, broken, unbroken, broken, is Kan, which symbolizes water. Fire and water give you Wei Ji, before completion, which happens to be the last hexagram in the Book of Change. One would have thought the last hexagram should be completion. But that is not what the Chinese mind wants. The ancients thought completion means the end of everything. It makes people complacent. It makes people lazy. So the 64th hexagram, the last hexagram, is before completion. The 63rd hexagram is completion. 寂寂, followed by 未寂. All right? Now, if I may have, I picked up a book just now, the Wilhelm Baines grey covered book. Thank you. Thank you. Now, thank you. Now, we've got this weighty hexagram, and we want to read the moving lines. And let's see what we've got in the moving lines. Can you see that? This is Wei Ji in Chinese, Wei Ji before completion. Can you see this? Li above and Kan below. So the two trigrams together make up this Wei Ji hexagram. Now, Wei Ji, of course, is before completion, and you have to work hard for it. You have to work hard for it. When we read the lower lines first, moving up. The fourth line moves. And we read 9 in the fourth place. 9 in the fourth place means perseverance brings good fortune. Remorse disappears. Shock thus to... I don't think you need really to zoom. I can read it out for you. I can read out loud. 9 in the fourth place means perseverance brings good fortune, remorse disappears, shock thus to discipline the devil's country. For 3 years, great realms are awarded. The devil's country is just a place which was to be conquered. And the 6 in the fifth line means perseverance brings good fortune, no remorse, the light of the superior man is true, good fortune. So if you're given this Wei Ji hexagram with these two lines moving, you can consider the result auspicious. It's a good result. But that is not the end. As I said, after moving, the lines change to lines of the opposite gender. What is the new hexagram? While the lower trigram remains the same here, the upper trigram changes. The moving yang line becomes a non-moving yin line, and the moving yin line becomes a non-moving yang line. And 7 remains unchanged. So 2 lines have moved, namely the 4th line and the 5th line. What is the name of the new hexagram? Well, wind. Water remains the same, and the hexagram is called Huan, dispersion. Disperse. Perhaps your team will disperse. Okay. 59, dispersion. Here it is, dispersion or dissolution. Above is the old pronunciation sun. Now it is pronounced shin. Water remains unchanged, so it is shin above, wind above, and water below, and it is white. Can you recognize the characters? This is the new hexagram, and it tells you the result. It tells you the result. Since we have not framed any question, we do not know what dispersion means. It could mean dispersion of all the evil elements. It could mean dispersion of your gang, your group, your team. Since we don't have a question, we need not have an answer. But it is the process which I wanted to show you, and I did. I showed you the methods of divination, and I showed you the methods of forming hexagrams. If there are no moving lines, there will not be a new hexagram. Only if there is one or more moving lines, you will have a new hexagram, and the new hexagram tells you about the conclusion. That is the conclusion. So it is really Wei Ji going to Huan dispersion.
中意名家分析，記得俾 like 同埋分享，支持同訂閱卓見名家，最緊要撳埋呢個鐘仔，咁就唔會錯過我哋嘅新片。